The COVID pandemic has revealed and indeed exacerbated deficiencies in education that were already present.
We have a sense of the digital divide from some school district data that many districts can't provide broadband, they can't provide internet services at all, they haven't been able to provide computers to students. So we know there are large sections of our nation that are not being educated. In response to the school closures here and the assertion that it would be impossible to serve students with disabilities during any school closure, the National Center for Learning Disabilities, we began to work with several partners on two fronts to advocate for the education of our students to continue. First, we joined with over 100 other organizations to form the Educating All Learners Alliance. And we worked with our Young Adult Leadership Council and other groups of parents and young adults across the nation under a campaign called My IDEA Matters. IDEA is the name of our federal civil rights law in the United States that provides coverage in schools for students with disabilities. We were able to convince the Department of Education to keep IDEA in place, to keep the rights in place for all of our students with disabilities.
You know, students were behind before COVID, like this is nothing new. So when we say return to normal, what was that? Because normal wasn't always working for all of our kids. At SELF, we decided to pivot our work this year and really think through, not just to have virtual training sessions, not just to continue to do the same thing, but like, how do we support our leaders and our teachers and our leadership teams during this time? So we did adapt all of our training sessions to make sure that we focused on COVID and what comes next. What we then decided to do is to put out free modules to schools around supporting diverse learners, whether it was a student with an IEP, whether it was just students who were falling behind because of distance learning, and ways to make lessons more engaging. And watching teachers come up with creative ways to build collaboration and bonds in the classroom through a hybrid experience or virtual experience has amazed me this year.
Trauma and toxic stress in school-age children is prevalent. It manifests itself in children's behavior, in difficulties with learning, and in emotional well-being issues.
A shared understanding of the impacts of traumatic experience on student learning provides educators with a trauma lens that allows them to better understand how students learn and behave and guides their reflection and action planning.
As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we successfully pivoted our courses to an 8-week online format, which has extended the reach of these resources all across the country.
When learning rapidly shifted to a remote basis, trauma-sensitive educators intuitively understood the importance of reaching out and connecting with each and every student and each and every family.